What up, though? It's your boy Tone 202, and I think I'm playing music. I got some music going on here. Welcome to my live session. And I guess you're going to find it here. And it's music playing. Basically talking about why are white women feared. For all you white people that are on my channel, relax. Let's check some facts. Let's talk about it. For one, the largest majority in the United States is a white woman. There are more white women running around in America than there is any other group as far as sex and as far as race. And you guys can check your statistics. I don't know what the exact number is, but there's far more of them than there are men, especially white men. And there's a number of reasons for that. There are just more women born than there are men. There are, more men who go off to war, who got drafted, who freely joined the military, who go out and get into scuffles, who die faster. So there's a lot of reasons why men fall off the planet faster than women do. Life expectancy is shorter for men. A lot of times that's because of occupation. A lot of times, occupation, just the hazardous things that we do. More men hunt. More men drive trucks. You have more men working with dangerous chemicals hand to hand. More men taking risks. You get the point. The male spirit that is instilled into the American male especially is to go out, be a man. If you're sitting at home doing nothing, go out, join the military, be a cop, do whatever. Be a man. If you're a desk jockey, people are like, you're not a man. It's like, just as much man as everybody else, desk jockey or not. But you will have the desk jockey, all of a sudden will show up at the gym. Like, you know what? I got to do something about this. Why? Because society, women, are saying, we like men who do this. So the desk jockey, goes and starts lifting. Takes his money and buys himself a, sports car and brags about his area code and his zip code. I live here. I should have a good-looking woman. It's not the way it works. You're still a nerd, buddy. You get a nerd girlfriend. But why are white women feared? You got your corner store Carolines. You have your Brittany Murphy, I think is her name. She called the cops on a guy who was fixing his car. And he got tackled by the cops back in 2015. Yeah. The most notorious story is Emmett Till, but of course that has been happening. Emmett Till was basically framed, lied on by a white woman, said that he whistled at her. Emmett Till was a child. And these two guys took him and to a barn or something like that and tied him to a chair and took and beat his face unrecognizable with the butt of a .38. And they did that because they knew he would still be alive. He might have been unconscious if God had mercy, but it's a good chance he felt a lot of the pain that was going through him, but he was traumatized quickly. And they did other heinous things to him and made sure that Black people know not to whistle at a white woman. So there's a lot of things that happen as far as a knee-jerk reaction to that. One, you had a lot of, men who have always been afraid of the white woman's lies. Now, do all white women do this? No. So not all white women. However, when you don't know a white woman, okay, let me put it to you like this. I was dating a white woman once. Well, she would see me every now and then. And she wanted me to sleep with her. And I explained to her why I didn't want to. And, basically we were in a hotel and she was wondering why I didn't make a move on her. You know what I'm saying? And I said, because I'm afraid. I said, you could say anything. And that could be my life. Okay? All right? 20th century. Gone. You're gone. And she recognized my fear. And she was like, I'm not going to do that to you. And she did. And we got along great. So I don't think every white woman is some, tragedy waiting to, befall a Black person. However, the fear, the example that has been set long before Emmett Till, but current day, the reality of that, our ancestors went through that. Now, in my day, it's still happening. It strikes great fear in you because when this happens, you are up against a court system that looks at you as an animal. They treat you like a monkey or a gorilla, something that should be in a zoo, something that has no rights of freedom. You're not free. You're guilty until proven innocent, and you're not going to be proven innocent. You're going to get handed down a bunch of time, and then you're going to end up in a jail. Well, they treat you like a monkey with the rest of the monkeys. And anything can happen in there. Next thing you know, that's where your life ends. So these women, Corner Store Caroline, and the woman even calling the police on an 8-year-old girl because she didn't have a permit. All of these things are, and the little boy, the woman said he touched her butt. It's just like her butt is something like really special. I'm a white woman. My butt is so great. It's like, out of here. You're old, nobody's paying you any attention. Now some boy walks past you and now some woman or some boy ain't even thinking about you or your butt. And his actually backpack touches her. And she goes off and calls the cops. But she could have just been like, it's nothing. But she calls the police. The only reason why they do this is because they want some type of they're taking some type of stance. I'm a white woman and you've offended me. So something bad is going to happen to you. There you go. So something bad's about to happen to you. Now you got to understand, when somebody calls the cops on you, they do not control the narrative. It's out of their hands once the police are called. They can say what happened. But now you have 3 people who are involved, or 3 different parties. You, the person who called the cops on you, and now the cops. And the cops can show up Keep it moving. The cops can show up and don't listen to a word you have to say, and you're dead. This has happened several times this year, and you're dead. White woman called a cop on a guy who was playing music in his house, in his garage. And she was like, the music is too loud. So she called the cops. 2 minutes after the cops were there, they shot through his garage door and murdered that man. We've seen another case where a guy called the cops, and a white guy called the cops, and he was like, I did not expect that to happen. It's when the guy was shot 20 times. Said he was breaking into cars, and all the police said was gun, and they tore him a new asshole. That was it for Stephon Clark, I think. They ripped him apart, 20 bullets. They shredded that boy. So this is why calling the cops, white women use this. They use the cops as a bludgeoning tool. And it works. It works. Because you're outgunned, you're outmanned. They're the largest gang on the planet. I know. And you only hope that you get one that's not in the mood to take you off of this planet. Because if you get one that isn't, that is it for you, and it will be justified in the state, federal. It'll be justified. There's nothing that you can be is the holiest of holy. Look, they killed Christ, they'll kill you. And they will bury you right in front of your children. This is why white women are so dangerous. When they get in groups, it's lights out. You gotta understand, they're the largest group in America. They're the white women. They're the largest that there is. There's more white women walking around in America than there is white and black men combined. Probably most men combined. I would have to check the census, but there are so many of them that they actually could sway a presidency easily. Easily. If it went by the popular vote. And this is why the court systems, have, the people who are elected judge and all them. The majority of the people who vote for that are white women. So the people who they want in power so they can marry each other, men are marrying each other too, so they could push forth, the laws to protect women, which I ain't got a problem with in the most part, except when it gets excessive, when people are just losing their jobs and they have no idea what you're talking about. They're like, I don't even know you. When allegations are, we're seeing it all the time. There's an allegation. Yes, I can see them. Do you want me to read them out loud? I've been agreeing with you. Okay, I'll read them out loud. White women are the devil. I don't agree, but I understand what you're saying. I love sisters and Latinos. I am partial to sisters. I never dated a Latino. All heathen women can keep it moving tone. That's your opinion. Like I said, I am not blanketing all white women, but there's a reason why they're dangerous. There's a reason why people have a great fear of them. It's not respect. It's not, this just because you're a white woman, I respect you. No. I respect you as a person. I don't disrespect you. It's because we know that you can get somebody taken out of this world right now. We know that you can take away jobs. We've seen they're taking away people's jobs. Wow. I don't know if you guys want me to read all your comments out loud. If you do, let me know. I will read them out loud. What do you mean, am I asleep? Yeah, what do you mean, am I asleep? When somebody says, "Are you asleep, my brother?" It's criticism. Like you're not aware. Do you like white women? What? Oh my God. Okay, this must have stemmed from something I must have just said. Okay, so I are you a woman? I'm assuming you're a woman. Okay, so this is what I said. For what? Let me say it. Let me do this. Let me frame this for you. No, I do not hate white women. Sisters are so beautiful. Sisters are, and my preference is black women. Let me say that. Have I dated a white woman before? Yes. Have I been asked by them to marry them? Yes. But my answer was I can't marry you because you're a white woman. I just couldn't. They were nice to me, but I couldn't because I knew that I was in the wrong place. So I haven't dated a white woman in, I don't know, 6, 7 years. I just don't do that anymore. Am I asleep? No. I'm not asleep at the wheel. So I do not hate the class of white women. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I do not hate the class of white women. I fear them. Now, I don't go among them and jump at everything they say. I don't do that. It's the power of them calling the police. It's the power of them ruling the judicial system. It's the power of them controlling the politicians. That's what I fear. Because they are the largest majority. Yeah, they are the largest majority group out there. So you have to understand, it's not there's a white woman run. It's I know white women in groups can cause a whole nation to be under the thumb of a particular president. You know what I'm saying? Same this way. Good way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They can do that. They're the ones can. Okay, so let's just say we wanted a particular governor, or let me say this: a U.S. Senate. Say we wanted a U.S. Senate. We, as in African Americans, were really pushing for a U.S. Senate. Now there are a lot of African Americans who are in politicians. who are in politics. I used to be in politics, but let's just say that this particular senator was trying to push forth a policy that was really, really going to help African Americans and on a countrywide basis. So we were just like, yeah, go for it, because we know if this person gets into the Senate, that they're going to affect some decisions that are made by the president, so on and so forth. So yeah, get this person in there. But white women as a group were looking at it like, we don't want this to happen. Who do you think is going to win that? Who do you think? If it came down to sheer numbers of voting, I'm going to tell you who's going to win. The white woman will. Look at that. See? The white woman will win that vote. And listen, because this is a democracy, because of the way this is set up, they will come together and collectively win that vote. They will stop all that if they want to. You see how bad it is. Look, do you think that black women and white women have the same value? They don't. The white vagina and the black vagina is two different dynamics. The black vagina is known for being overly sexed. The white vagina is known for being the matriarch and the potential kingmaker of this pretty much country. There is more value between a white woman's legs than there is between a black woman's legs. There just is. And I can tell you why black women are feminists. Because black women are still trying to get laws passed to protect them. A woman is a woman. So you have that. But you have feminists who are trying to get laws to protect them, laws to protect their children. And you got to understand, some of those laws don't favor men. Some of those laws look at men as a second-class citizen. So you have feminists and you have womenists. You have womenists who are triggered by everything. That's just it. They're triggered by everything. I'm triggered. Men at work sign, I'm triggered. Hey, how you doing, beautiful? I'm triggered. And then you have the feminists. My baby's father jetted on me, and I needed him, and he left me. And I didn't do anything wrong. We had our problems like we always do, but now I have this child, and he's in the wind. I need help with my child. That's different. That's a whole different dynamic. Thanks. Thank you. That's a whole different dynamic. So you have the womenists who are destroying the system that was created for them. Look, they wanted to burn their bras. They wanted the government to stay out, between their legs so they could do what they want. They wanted the choice with abortion. That wasn't black women who were doing all that hollering. Those were college white women who were doing that. Okay. Nonetheless, the child is separated from the father. So the mother is trying to bring this father back into this child's life some kind of way, sometime financially. Well, that's all. See, there should be some personal response. I'm going to read this comment. But then you have someone like my neighbors that is on her seventh child, and she doesn't know the guy's name to take him to court, but wants society to feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her because I believe women are responsible. You have a lot of this Me Too movement where the woman is just not responsible. As a matter of fact, they even have gone so far in saying, this one woman said, I took one drink of wine, and she said, I was no longer responsible for my body. And I watched another segment where this teenage girl, was going to these grown men's house, and they were running a train on her, and she wanted them to. And one day she woke up, and they had ran a train on her, and she was like, "What happened?" They said, "We just ran a train on you." And it was like 3 or 4 of these guys she didn't even know, because she ran away from home, and she was being fast, hooked up with a guy, and they did what those guys do and ran a train on her, invited some friends over, and knocked her off a couple times, and I don't understand the question. So did they steal you? Yes. And then she explained, she's like, I went over there and I had some drinks, and next thing you know, I didn't know what happened. It was like she blamed it on the alcohol. She even asked me if I knew anyone that she could date. Yeah, that's not happening. That's crazy. So this woman blamed it on alcohol instead of taking responsibility. And you've seen this time and time again, like the preacher who they were pretty much the same age. She was 18, he was like 19. And they got together, 20 years ago and had sex. And then she made a complaint 20 years ago and was like, I was scared, I was alone, or I didn't know what I was doing. And it was like, he didn't take you in an alley somewhere and, take it from you. You two consented. She didn't say I didn't consent. She just said she was scared because it was her first time or whatever. Look, I understand that, but you consented. And then you bring a case up against him after you two consented as adults. You're 18, he's 19. And I don't get it. And so this guy has to go through all this embarrassing. I'm sorry that I did this. I would have been like, listen, I'm not sorry that we slept together. It's what we wanted to do. But it was a sin, and we're no longer doing this, and we moved on. That was 20 years ago. Anyway, praise the Lord. It's always someone else's fault. It's never your fault. But listen, there are a lot of cases where it's not people's fault. People have been taken advantage of. Oh, okay, here's a young lady I knew. She was an adult when this happened. She goes to a bar in the rough end of town. She leaves the bar. A guy comes out of the bar, follows her, pulls her in an alley, takes it from her. Boom. She goes back to the same place. Guess what happened? I'm done. I'm done. Why? Why would you go back there? Well, the cops killed the kid, right? Who was the first cop? Zimmerman was mixed. Then they were saying he's not white. Y'all retarded. Then the white cops started in how fast was Zimmerman's case. Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you something. Zimmerman, the reason why Zimmerman walked away, this is the excuse that they had. They said that Trayvon Martin could have walked away. That was their excuse. That was their excuse. But here's the thing. Zimmerman had family members who were in the court system. And recently, he was like he's a celebrity. He was signing bags of Skittles and handing it to people. He was doing that to mock the death of a 17-year-old. So the legal system failed when it came to Zimmerman. He should have got first-degree murder. But it failed us when it came to him. But now he's mocking Black people. Like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, I don't know that person. But if you leave a link or something, I will go ahead and look that up. But there's so many, there's good reason to have fear of the white woman because they're using their feminist power to manipulate the system. And it's already corrupt, but they're corrupting it even more. And what are you talking about? What happened to the others? Don't know the cops. You mean in the Zimmerman case? When they kill each other, Black men, to prove that they are real. But Zimmerman, and you know what? They were having celebrity matches, and he was one of the celebrities. And I was like, if I would have done that, I would be 6 feet under. But he done it, and now he's a celebrity? Oh, burn in hell. Burn in the devil's hell. They don't know what happened. As far as the Zimmerman case, I'm not sure about what happened with the police. I just know that he had court ties. Yeah, burn in the devil's hell. I got nothing for you. You can't come around me talking that gibberish. Of course, I wouldn't seek Zimmerman out either. I just stay away from that kind of energy. I don't have time to sit in jail to, if these people don't want to, do anything and shut this idiot down, You know, if that's not what they want to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to step up. Trayvon was black and I'm not. I don't have the energy. You know, if they're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. You know, but would I accept him? And like, if I had a business, would I let him come in to my business? Absolutely not. I'd be like, you can't come in here. Get out of my business. You can't dork in the door of my business. You can't come in my, you know, around my house. Don't knock on my door. I just stay away from that type of energy because he's a negative, evil person. In the hood to try rest and tonight. I'm feeling generous. Oh, come on with it, mama. You ain't said nothing. Let's go. Because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. An Edomite devil. Oh, okay. I know where you're going with that. Well, you know, I already know what I want. I want the same thing. Yeah, from Edom. But the fear of the white woman is, listen, like I said, I fear them. I don't disrespect them, but I don't respect them because, oh, you know, I have all this utmost respect for the white woman. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have a hate for them. I don't seek out, you know, white women is a, you know, I'm just not going to do that. I don't have the energy to sit up here and bash a whole, you know, nationality. And I don't know all those people. You know, you've had white women. I've known some great white people, white women who've helped me. And I'm not going to, I just don't, I'm not going to do that. But are they someone like, could I see myself being married to one? I can't. She would have to be that deal, but I really can't. I like dark-skinned women. So I like dark-skinned sisters, you know what I'm saying? So that's who I can see waking up to every day. A real chocolate, you know, big booty, you know. It is what it is, a Kandaki sister. That's, you know, what I gravitate towards. And, you know, somebody who understands my you know, what I go through every day. You know what I'm saying? That's who I see myself with. I bet I got you to order yours. Next time. Yeah, I'm all for the up. Okay. When it comes to Black power, when I think of Black power, I don't think of all Black people. I just don't. Because all Black people are not with Black power. When I also think Black power, I don't think it as in we're going to take something over. Like we're going to go out violently. I look at, let's get our human rights. I'm looking at, let's stop mass incarceration on Black people. Let's stop Planned Parenthood from, you know, setting up our Black women and killing them. You know what I'm saying? And killing them in abortions and killing our children. That's Black power to me. Like, cut all that nonsense out. Let's get more legislators, whether they're white or Black or Hispanic or whatever, to start covering more of our issues. Let's get the president to finally put these the police officers who are killing us in the street. Let's get them to get rid of the system that protect the Supreme Court system that protects them, and get some legislation to say, okay, when there's a grand jury, evidence from the other side should be presented. Because when you have a grand jury, the defendant doesn't even, the person who was slain, they have no input when it comes to a grand jury. So these cops are just walking free like, no, president, You need to do something about that to where all people are equal. That's the Black power I'm thinking about. I don't necessarily need to walk around in a dashiki, even though I like dashikis, and all kind of natural stuff. I like that. But I'm not going to go and start preaching against, white women and Edomites and all that, because my view, that's not my view. You know what I'm saying? I could love them just like I could love anybody else, but my mate, I want to be as chocolate as me. That is different. I want my babies to be dark. I want them to know. You know what I'm saying? I want to wake up and look at Africa in my bed. I want to look at my woman and marvel at her skin and just be in love with her everything. That's what I want. And when I can't identify with that person and they can't identify with me, it just doesn't work. So I don't have a militant mind when it comes to, the status quo. Joe has, it jailed us up. Prom Queen. Shut up to Prom Queen. How old are you? No papers. If you don't mind my asking, we from everywhere. That's brainwashing. You guys were having their own conversation. 32. Okay. You from New York, right? So I don't, and some of the more militant brothers, they educate me in a lot of things, and I appreciate their education. Oh, okay, I'm from Ohio too. That's where I'm at right now. And they educate me in a lot of, what's going on, a lot of our lineage. I love that stuff. I listen to, I think it's 11th Street. That's how old she is. I listen to the 11th Street preachers down in New York. It says 11th or 15th Street. I love their knowledge, but I don't agree with all of what they said. Shout out to all the millennials. One time, bro. All the 27ers. Shout out to the millennials. Y'all got a new way of doing things. Very independent minded. I appreciate it. You got a lot of millennials who got money at a very young age, where my age, that money was not available. So you got Instagram hustles, you got people who are getting money out here. So big up to the millennials for that. I don't appreciate trashing people's businesses just to get the fame, and I'm glad they stopped a lot of that, and started jailing some of these people. But you people out there with your Instagram thing going on and getting money, I'm all about that. Just don't destroy somebody else's business just to get your name up. I'm not with that. You know what? I wasn't really into doing football videos, and I put up a couple of videos and I hardly got any views. So I was like, if you guys aren't going to watch it, I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to talk about stuff like this every now and again. But nobody watched them. So I was like, all right, I guess that's not what y'all feeling right now. You don't do the internet, too many everyday perverts. Yeah, well, people are perverts. But so I've got fired because of just women in general. But I remember one time I got fired because this white woman said something to me, and I was just like, she didn't like my answer, and they told me not to come back. That was it. That was it. Just don't come back. Yeah, they don't need you anymore. And that's exactly what they said. I was like, dang. Hurt my feelings too. So I've lost, jobs because of that, but I've had, men and women do that to me. Yeah, straight up fired, straight up bye. This is why I don't want to go back to work. Right now, you got 1 million men who will not return back to work. They will not do it because the battlefield has gone from the street to the office. And there are casualties of men who have lost everything. There's divorce. There's men who can't see their children. There's men who can't return to the job they had, who's lost. They're getting their pension from. Do you know how hard it is to get a man's pension? Like they're getting these guys pension from them. Like no one is safe. No one is safe. Listen, you see all the stuff that the celebrities are going through, Russell Simmons and all those people. You see, it's worse for the everyday average working guy who's been at the job for 20 years. I mean, Matt Lauer is one thing. He probably had a nice stash going on. But average dude like me, you know how much it costs to hire a lawyer to defend you from an allegation? Not from the truth, from an allegation. You know how much lawyers cost? It is astronomical. You can eat through $1 million. As a matter of fact, they say if an allegation is, if an allegation is, if a woman has an allegation against you, it can cost up to like $1 million to defend it properly. And it's going to cost you. So and they said most people can't defend themselves because they can't afford the court cost. And this is an allegation. And some of these women are going, I lied. Like there's a young man right now who is about to be sentenced to 40 years in jail. You know why? Because he had sex with 2 college students. Him himself, they were all the same age. And he had a threesome. And those girls turned around and said he raped them. He's facing 40 years over an allegation. It's like, wait, what? We all agree. How did I rape 2 of you? We all agreed. We're young and horny and we're in college. There's his career. 2 white women said he raped them. That's it. Listen, they could be like, you know what? It was a mistake. She was, these 2 young ladies were, they were just joshing. They were joking around. It still ended this guy's football career. That's it. That's it. Those allegations got him kicked off the team. Boom! Immediately. And they knew. See, that's what I'm saying. Those women knew that was going to happen. They were well aware of it. They were like, yeah, we're about to get him kicked off the team. You're not going to be playing this season or the next. And then he has to defend himself in court. You got 2 lawyers and investigators. Money, money, money. Your husband left you because you got a little thick. Shoot. I mean, if he was really about it, you're only 32. He is really about it. He's been like, let's go out and walk it. Let's go walk this, let's cut down on the calories. I mean, if you really about that life, you know what I'm saying? He ain't leave you because of the extra pounds, baby. He left you because he wanted another woman. He wanted another woman. Yeah, that's why you hurt, because he was your high school love. He wanted another woman. That's why he left you. It wasn't because you gained weight. He was going to leave you anyway. That's the truth. He wanted 10-1 says he's got a woman that's 10 years younger than you. 10-1. Yeah, 10-1, he's got a younger woman. Probably, what, you're 32? Bet he's got a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. Trying to tell you, I'm a man. I'm telling you, there's a young woman around there somewhere. And she is feeding him nothing but sex. She's stupid as all get out. And that's why he likes her. Because she's dumb as a sack of rocks. You don't want her to be smart. You want her to be stupid. Just lay down, shut up, and open it. I'm just trying to tell you. You got another woman somewhere. That's what it is. There's always a young lady, a new one popping up every second. Always. It just doesn't take much. And the thing with guys is, we get older, but our appetite for younger women just doesn't change. Now I'm telling her the truth. See, here's the thing about her position. She could scope out an older man, and that dude will be like, let's get it. What, you got some kids? Let's go. Because she's 32. She's 32. She got kids. He ain't got to worry about that. Like, oh, you got kids over there? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got these kids. You got like these kids. Oh, let's go. Because 32 is young to him. That's what it is. 32 is young. That's if I had a 32-year-old, I'd be worried she's going to leave me. I'm 51. Well, okay. I'm just saying, if I had a 32-year-old, I'd be like, she's going to leave me. I can't jump up and down on her like I used to when I was 30. I can't do that stuff anymore. 32-year-old woman, she got some heavy needs. She always trying to get it in. Because guys her age, they can do all that jumping up and down on you, for hours. I'm not going to be doing all that. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. Why can't that? Well, so they're saying he is. I'm just saying there's different dynamics when you get to a different age. A woman that's 32 is more valued by a man that's 50. She just is, because he's young to her. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then the value difference. Because here's the value difference. A man, when I was younger, I loved older women. So me at 19, I was dating a 24-year-old. I was dating two of them, as a matter of fact. 24-year-olds. I always like older women. When I was 43, I was dating a woman who was 63. When I was 24, I was dating a woman who was 47. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, I never looked at those women as my wives. They were great because they were mature, they could hold it down, but I never looked at them as my wives. Okay, so now you have a 32-year-old and I'm 50. If I start dating a 32-year-old and she was mature, I would be looking at her as my wife. You see how the dynamic changes? That's wife right there. I got a young wife. I'm a lucky man. Yeah, I'm a lucky man. All these women were black anyway. I'm a lucky man. She 32, I'm 51. Boom, I got a young wife. Let's go. 10 pounds, that's nothing. Oh, that's nothing. I used to date a woman who was huge. Okay. But 10 pounds, oh man, I'll work that out with you in a heartbeat. I'll be like, you better get on this track. I'll have you at the gym, but I'll be there with you. Let's go. What part of Ohio you in? Are you dating? Who is on the live? Are you? I'm not dating right now. I'm not dating anyone right now. I just graduated, from college, so that's where all my energy went to. And I didn't really have the mindset to really put. I was emotionally unavailable. I probably still am. I'll look at you though. I'll look at you all day. I'll watch you walk around the house in your flip flops and your whatever your little Mickey Mouse sweats on. I marvel. I'd be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a disabled veteran, so I'm not gonna do too much. But I'll look at you. I'll admire you. I'll give you compliments all day. Oh, baby, you look good with your rollers in your hair. Man, I ain't never seen rollers look like that before. It was, ooh, girl, you got some rollers. Look at them rollers. Heck yeah, I'll be your number one fan. But all that extra, let's go out to the club. No, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't party. I don't go out dancing. I can dance, but I usually don't go to many places. I'm a nerd. I like looking at nerdy movies, science-y movies. I like trying to think of ways to fix a lot of world problems. So that's where my mind is. I'm into cellular structure and supersonic engines and stuff along that stuff I don't know anything about, but I'm learning about it. So that's kind of where I'm at. You want to talk about the Kardashians, you're just going to get a blank stare out of me. You know what Khloe did? I could care less. I don't watch TV. You want to impress me, start talking about Stephen Hawkins or something and, space and all that. We can talk. Other than and I've lost so many women who are interested in me because I'm not, I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I don't watch Love Is. I don't watch a lot of those shows. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. Those shows make my head hurt. Those shows with women fighting each other over nothing and because who's smart? Oh man, pizza and lasagna, or just one or the other. Pizza, you can pizza, same pepperoni and pineapple. I'm fine with that, and I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't like. This one young lady that this happened years ago, and I was 27. She thought I was a good looking dude. I was like, okay, let's get together, And I listened to her talk, and she didn't say not one thing that interests me. And I remember when I was 19, there was a sergeant who was just, she looked like a young Leela Racone. That's who she really looked like. She was so fine. It was just amazing. And I had the biggest crush on her, even though she had a husband. But I had a crush on her, but, I loved looking at her. And pepperoni pizza. Oh, wow. I got to look at your avatar, No Papers. But nonetheless, I was sitting there eating breakfast with her because we were at work. And I was talking and she just ignored everything I said. And then I said, oh, you use Twist now? Well, hey, whatever you use, I will be like a Twist, baby. So I was talking to her and everything I said, she ignored. And she knew I had a crush on her. And then I had, I knew she had a college degree. And so there was I was in Darmstadt, Germany when I was in service. And I went, they had a college campus activity like thing going on where you can take classes. And I think it was through Maryland University. So I went and enrolled and I took a writing class. And the next time I saw her, I was, we were eating at work and I was like, I had said something that she didn't really care about, and I noticed how she didn't pay me in mind. And then I said, I enrolled in college today or yesterday. And she looked me right in my eyes and she was like, really, what class are you taking? So a lot of times the person isn't interested in you because you're not saying nothing interesting. You're not interesting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not interesting, they don't have a common ground. It's just they're going, just looking at you with a blank stare, So, and after that, we became like really cool friends. Every time I came to work, hey, what's going on? And I was like, what's up? She's like, how's your classes going? I'd be like, it's a little rough, but she was a real cool person. So, yeah. So fear of white women is something that they built into us because the white women, during the slavery days, used to lie on the black man all the time. And what they would do is when they told this goes back long before the black woman had power. You got to understand, the black woman didn't have the power she has today. And it's still not even as close as the white woman who has power. Because the black woman can holler rape and nobody cares. White woman holler rape, it is on. Okay? So during the slavery days, when they would just do all kind of heinous things to you and you live. Listen, they would do heinous stuff to you and you would be alive. Like they would go get your wife or your child and obliterate them in front of you to make sure you knew. All because of what some white woman said. Because she wanted something from the black man, and it's not always the D. Well, a lot of times it is. But she wanted him to either to do something some way. Yeah, she wanted something from him or him to listen to her some kind of way and manipulate him and probably wanted his affection because you got to understand, picking cotton is hard. Plus, you didn't have a lot of fat slaves. You had a lot of very strong. When you were chosen on the auction block, you were chose because of how strong you looked. You were chose because of how much productivity they can get out of you. Okay, if you didn't look, there weren't a lot of fat, sloppy. You just didn't have a lot of that. Even people who worked in the field, you burning all those calories. You not out there just. You were big. You were hauling stuff and moving stuff. So you were very, very muscular. That's why they call them black bucks. You're very, very muscular and very attractive. So these white women, of course, they were attracted to you. Plus, it's taboo, So yeah, they were attracted to you. And then you have the whole myth of black men being well hung. And this is very true in a lot of cases. You have a lot of African tribes who are so well hung that it comes. I mean, it's so they have to actually string it up. Like you'll see some videos where it's so big they have to string it up some kind of way to hold it from flopping around. Like that's a real thing. Okay, so you have, men who are huge and, muscular and then walking around with, 13, 14. And yeah, of course, they jump right on them. That's not every man, but nonetheless, they were being manipulated. So the whole fear of a white woman, this has come from a long time ago. And even before then, all right, white women have always been in the king's ear saying, hey, we need to go do this. So it's not nothing new, but I don't have an angst against all white women. But I've seen white women get in groups And when they look at you and they start whispering, I've seen them do this to me. To me. When they start whispering because you didn't do something they wanted or they didn't like something, you can forget it. Your job is about to be at risk. The money that you're making, you're about to not make that money. I'm not going back to that. I'm not. Listen, if I get a regular job, if I get healed up and get a regular job, it's going to be an at-home job, or I'm going to be so far removed from the office. I don't want to see Sally. I don't want to see Mary. I don't want to see none of you. I don't want to see you. And you could be the nicest, sweetest, have no angst, but it's the potential. Look, you can have a great cop who just wants to go home to his family, but the potential for him to be an asshole is there. And he has a whole nation full of, people who will back him up. No, that's the fear. It's not you personally. It's your potential. We know you got the power to call a SWAT team and obliterate a whole neighborhood. And they're going to say, oh, these guys were bad because they still chewed Bubblicious bubble gum, cherry, and they should have been chewing apple Bubblicious. And we're Wrigley Spearmint people, so we killed everyone. You don't believe it? Look at Black Wall Street. Look at Rosewood. They obliterated Black Wall Street. What was that, in Oklahoma? They obliterated that place. Look what they did in Chicago with the move bombs. They literally dropped bombs on Black people. Nah, yeah, those shows are garbage. So don't act like they won't come and do it and seize your whole neighborhood. Look what they did in Michigan. They poisoned the people in Michigan. They poisoned the water. You can't get no more evil than that. They poisoned the water. It just poisoned the water. And was like, yeah, so what? We poisoned your water. What? When I look at politicians, I look at what a politician can do, he or she, and I always hope that the politician will do what they can do. I always have hope. But in the back of my mind, I know that the majority of what they're saying will not come to fruition. We've seen it over and over again. And I have no other choice but to not believe what you say. I don't have any other choice. The Electoral College has completely taken over the democracy that is supposed to be of the people. There is no democracy. The president is not chosen by a democracy, by the people. The president is chosen by the Electoral College. That's not of the people. That's not the babies' moms in the low income family. They're not choosing the president. The migrant workers and the coal miners and the office worker making $30,000. You're not choosing the president. You're not choosing the president. The labor workers, the people who are working at the factories, just trying to get by, the farmers, they're not choosing the president. They're not choosing the president. There are politicians who are choosing the president. And there's a small group of them. It's a small group of them. Out of all the people in the United States, there's 270 people who choose the presidency. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, your vote does not count. And it hasn't counted in a long time. And here's the real danger behind that. If the American vote actually counted for the presidency, here's the real fear. Here's what we know. 197 million Caucasians here in America. 37 million Black people in America. 50 million Hispanics, and that number has gone up. Close to 50 million Hispanics. If the American vote was by the actual working Americans, then you would see, for one, Hillary Clinton would not have lost. She would have won. She won by 3 million people. 3 million. People are like, well, all these white women voted for Donald Trump. And just like, you have to understand, a lot of those white women did vote for Donald Trump. And of course, he's not giving them what they want. But there are more people, probably more Black and Hispanic people who, and, probably the Asians and the Africans and the, other minorities who voted for Hillary Clinton. Not one of their votes counted. Not one. The Bush administration, twice, not one of your votes counted. The Obama administration, not one of your votes counted. If none of you show up to the polls during the next presidential election, it is not your fault who wins the presidency. It is a waste of time. And people will argue this, and our ancestors fought for a democracy. We are not living in a democracy. There's a difference. But the people who were marching under the guise that if they get out and vote, if they got out and vote, then their vote would be counted. We saw during the Bush administration where they told the people in the South, if you have a bill, then you're not allowed to vote. They lied to them. They lied to millions of people in the South. BBC galore, right? They lied to them. They told them if you have an outstanding bill, you can't vote. Everybody has an outstanding bill. Donald Trump has an outstanding bill. Okay, get out of here with that. They lied to them. They moved the voting places around so people couldn't get their votes in on time. It was a complete travesty and a complete hijacking of America. It was a lie. You're not living in a democracy. Maybe an oligarchy, more like it's not a dictatorship because, people get removed after 8 years after term limits. Dictators don't get removed by choice. They don't, they get deposed and kicked out and, and all other, ways of getting rid of them. So you don't have that. But our president is not our president. He is a president. But he's not our president. He's not the president of the people. He's a president that was chosen by 270 people. And everybody else's vote doesn't matter. The popular vote does not matter. If it did, Donald Trump would not be president. We would have our first female president. The chances of us having our first female president is not going to come up in the next election either. You know when it'll pop up? The election after that. Donald Trump will be president again. All this talk about impeaching him, it's very hard to impeach a president. As a matter of fact, he'll probably win a Pulitzer Prize. He'll be a Pulitzer Prize winner. Or something like that, because he went to talk to Kim Jong-un, which President Obama was going to do, but they were, so much against it. So now they'll try to glorify the fact that Trump did the same thing that, Obama was going to do. Now it's glory to the white man. But the best chance you have of seeing a female as president is when the two females, there's only two females that qualify. Everybody else doesn't qualify. The Kennedy woman, we don't, pay your taxes. Get out of here. No. The only two people who come anywhere close to qualifying to be president as far as females goes, and there's only really one to me, and it's not Hillary Clinton, but if you're going to put a female in the running, it's going to be Hillary Clinton. She'll win all the primaries, hands down. She doesn't care about Mary J. Blige singing to her. Mary J. wasted her time. As a matter of fact, it's probably more of a stunt for Mary J. than it was for Hillary Clinton to, Hillary is anyways, the only woman that's even close to being a good president would be Obama's wife, Michelle Obama. If you're going to put a woman in the presidency. However, if she ran against Hillary, it's a good chance Hillary would win. So your next president for the next two elections is going to be Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. But you know who's going to put them in captivity? It's not going to be us. It's not going to be us. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not going to be us. If America gets taken over, America is going to get taken over by their own hubris. They're going to be taken by it's going to be their fault. There's too much infighting in America. The structure can easily go down. It can get bad real quick, and it wouldn't take anything for America to lose the superstructure that it has. Okay, the Roman army, you got to understand, when the Roman army would often be, yeah, okay, Tone, all right. Ooh, thank you very much, baby girl. Thank you. You all right, Nicole. You're a bunch of all right with me. I appreciate it. Okay, the Roman Empire, you got to understand, once it spread to its apex, it was being invaded by a couple groups. But a lot of it was their fault because they wanted to go in conquest. You got to understand, they were the third largest empire. Right now, America is the largest empire. You got to understand that. Our influence, we're doing the same thing. We're going out and we're slaughtering and we're taking. They're doing the same thing. And then we're saying, you need to be our ally. We're still invading countries. We're just doing the same thing. Iraq, we invaded Iraq. They were our allies. Saddam Hussein was our ally. Gaddafi was our ally. The CIA set all that up. And we invaded and killed them when it was convenient for us. We just killed them. We just, we're going to invade you right now and take whatever you have. Well, you got some oil? Yeah, we're going to take that. It took the oil. It was all for the oil. We did this. You got to understand, the Roman Empire invaded lands. And then finally they got invaded. And this is one of the reasons why the superstructure fell in Rome. One of the reasons why Rome fell was because of their own hubris. You got to understand, a lot of the times the army was not in Rome. They would get invaded by, who's it, the Mongols, I think? would invade them, and they would have to make deals in order for them to leave. They didn't beat them. They never beat them. I think it was the Huns or something like that. I don't know, one of those groups. But they would make deals to get rid of them. And then they got invaded by Germanic tribes constantly. And they would try to, they would go out and slaughter these tribes and say, hey, you're a part of our empire. Now it's just like, you have a bunch of people who hate you. It's just like going and getting the slaves from Africa off the Ivory Coast, killing a majority of them and throwing them in the water, you know, and letting the sharks eat them so much that the sharks would actually follow the ships. And then the ones that you do get here, you just maim and just do all kind of heinous. The most, you fed our babies to alligators. They're called gator bait. You do the most heinous things to us. You're still doing it today. And then when the war actually comes to our soil, you want us to fight for you? You don't even call us Americans. In the court system, we're not even looked at as Americans. We're looked at as animals. Like, we could be your greatest ally. And the reason why African Americans can be your greatest ally is because where we came from. Listen, we were sold by Africans off of the Ivory Coast. We're actually Jews. We're not Jewish. Okay, we came from Mesopotamia. We came from Asia. Jerusalem is in Asia. It's not in Africa. But nonetheless, we were sold by the Africans. But we actually came out of Asia. What country does America owe the most to? Answer, Asia. They owe trillions of dollars to Asia. Who is making the most powerful moves right now? Even on the China Sea, the Asians are building up land that is in the water and putting military, because you know why? Because they're running out of land. They're also pouring into Africa. And you know what? They're not enslaving the Africans. They're giving the Africans jobs. They're building listen, it's so intricate what these Asians are doing. They're building superstructures in Africa to reverse the effect of what the Europeans have done. The Europeans went into Africa and divided it up. Every part of Africa, they divided up amongst themselves. This is why you have most Africans speaking French. The Polish were there. They speak English. Those are not their native languages. They speak, of course, you know, Swahili and all that other stuff too, but they were invaded, so they had to learn a language. So a lot of them speak French, English, you know, and all these other European, you know, languages because they were invaded. Well, when they were invaded, they were robbed. They're still being robbed. They're still being robbed right now. The diamond mines are still being robbed by the Dutch. So they're trying. Right, we're tired of it. So what's happening is, because you were talking about, you know, what's going to happen to them. Well, this is what's going to happen to them. So we're tired of it, right? But we don't have an army to come over or to stop what's going on. Not to mention, see, the Black people aren't really interested in war in a global scale. If you go to war with the Caucasians or the Europeans, I don't understand what you're saying. If you go to war, play a song, okay. If you go to war with the Caucasians, you're talking about war on a global scale. Black people are not interested in war on a global scale. We're not. We're just not. We're interested in peace on a global scale. And you may find people who want to get revenge or whatever, but you're not going to find one that's like, I want to blow the world up, dog. I'm blowing it. You're not going to find that one. Not one. African-American male. Not one who wants to blow up the world. You're not. That person does not exist. I want to blow this whole world up. However, when it comes to the crazy European male, blow it all up. We'll find somewhere else to live. Dust them all. Africans are not building hydrogen bombs. We're not building H bombs. We're not building mega bomb or the bomb of we're not doing that. We ain't doing that. We dancing in the streets, trying to get something to eat. You're not getting that out of us. We go to war because our people are being oppressed. There's something wrong. We trying to eat and you stopping that. You coming in and, feeding our children nonsense and then, dusting them off on their way to school. You got our kids are getting arrested and accosted on the way to 3rd grade. You got people telling them, yo, your hair can't be like that. So you can't go to school here. It's my hair. Black people are not interested in war like that. We're just interested in living. That's what we're interested in. Okay. Black people are just interested in living. But the Asians, going into Africa, there's a lot of resources there, but they're after the people. When it comes to an army size, when it comes to the size of an army, if the Asians teamed up with the Africans, they would have an army. You gotta understand this. Glad you like it. If the Asians teamed up with the Africans, let's get a picture of this. The Asians don't necessarily like the Africans, but we have what they want, which is these hands. But they don't hate us. They're not trying to enslave us. They're making deals with us. You work for us, we'll get your water going on. We'll reverse the effect of what the European did. So you have to understand this. When you have that type of synonymous thing going on, you're just like, you don't have to love me, but you're not trying to oppress me. I can eat now. Because they've been putting diseases in our countries. They've been coming in just slaughtering us in mass numbers. But now I can eat. Now I have money. Now I can get rid of them, take them out of the diamond mines, De Beers, get rid of Goodyear over there, or make Goodyear pay us to just stop working for Goodyear. Because they're paying, what, $1 a day? Literally, this is what Goodyear's doing. So now I don't have to work for Goodyear for $1. I can go over here and work for you for $8, $9 like in America, $10, $11, $12 an hour. Wait, what, Asian people? You think I'm not with that? Now I can go and eat and send my kids to school and I don't have to fly to another country and for my child to use their education. We can build that right here. And listen, there are beautiful cities in Africa, but there's so much of Africa that's being downtrodden. You know what I'm saying? But now you get all of these countries to come up and they can get rid of the regime that's just crooked. And just get rid of them. They can arm themselves if they have to. But we can do that now. That's what money does. We don't have to be over here starving now. Oh yeah, let's go. And once they do that, you have to understand. Listen, it's just only natural for a human to side with the people who are treating them well. They don't have to like them. I got one neighbor who never speaks to me. I don't need to speak to them. Right? They never talk to me. I got another neighbor who used to put eggs in my backyard. All killed my plants. If those two neighbors went at it and needed me, who do you think I'm gonna side with? I'm gonna side with the neighbor who's never done nothing to me, but they don't speak to me. They don't like me. So what? But the asshole who killed my plants and did all kind of damage, I'm not gonna side with you. You feel me? So that's what's gonna happen. There are so many people in Africa. It's just, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Because I know Nicole likes stuff like this. This is what Nicole likes. Nicole's a smart woman, so she likes information. All right. Currently, let's do this. Currently. All right. Currently in Asia, there are 4.463 billion people in Asia. Think about that. Asia is not an enemy to the Africans or the African Americans. They may not like you, but they're not your enemy. Drink that in. In Europe, there are 741.4 million people. That's in Europe. That isn't Caucasian. That's just people. In North America, there's 579 million. Okay? That's not all Europeans. Okay? When you look at these numbers, Asia with 4.4 billion people in it, it overshadows Europe and North America together. All right? So, keep going down here. Show you the population in Africa. All right? It's the second largest. It's the second largest and second most populous continent, and it has 30 million people. Let me see. It has about 30 million. Oh, okay, million farmers including adjustment. Okay, and the services 20 with 1.2 billion people as of 2016. The majority of those are black. So there's only 7 billion people on the planet. Let's just think about this. You have 4.463 billion people in Asia alone. You have 1.2 billion people in Africa. America is sorely outnumbered. Even Benjamin Franklin said this. They're sorely outnumbered. So when you go and you terrorize a whole group of people for hundreds of years, you terrorize them and you basically say, you guys mean nothing. And then another group who has more numbers than you do step in and say, you guys are actually valuable. You're valuable to me. We don't necessarily need to hug and all that. We don't need to kumbaya, but you are valuable. We need you. Let's get together and talk about it. And they do. And that's what's happening now. They're allies. What do you think is going to happen when this Roman Empire starts to fall? And it already has. It's already starting to fall. Who do you think the 37 million people are going to side with? If the Asians and the Americans go at it. What do you think is going to happen? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you're saying, okay, but you're in America, you're American. Okay, fine. I'm in America. I'm American. Like, it's not a treasonous statement to say, if you keep killing African American people and you don't protect them, how am I gonna ever align myself with a land that constantly lets me know on every angle you don't want me? If you're not gonna protect my 4-year-old from getting shot by SWAT teams, and you don't hold them responsible, and this my child, my 8-year-old little girl in Detroit, my 4-year-old in Chicago, if you're not going to protect him, what? I don't know what else am I supposed to do. Just watch as we constantly catch a beat down? This is one reason why Rome fell. It's one reason why they fell. Because they figured that they didn't need they needed the people but what they did was they didn't respect them as they grew. They didn't respect them. They would just go and slaughter them. They didn't ask them if they wanted to be part of the empire. They slaughtered millions of people, and then they inducted them into the empire. But nonetheless, those people were so upset that you killed their families, they never forgot you. So when the empire, whenever a Caesar died, and then other people were just like, let's go invade them, they were just like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's go take back our people. Let's go take back our land. Because of the way they did it. Now, if they would have went to them and said, Egypt, we need to go ahead and make trades together, and we would like if you become, part of the empire, because right now we're the largest empire other than Syria. So if you want protection, we could fight them together when the king of Syria comes over with 125,000 people. We can help you fight against them. So let's make that deal, because they are coming for us. And Egypt goes, that's what's up. We'll give you wheat. We'll supply food for the armies. You supply manpower. Bet. That isn't what they did. They went and made war with them. The Germanic tribes, the Germanic tribes, they did the same thing. They slaughtered them in mass numbers. And it's like, now you're part of the empire. Well, whenever you have all those enemies in your empire, it's going to be taken over. That's exactly what happened. Christianity ate the empire up in the east, and the west, it never fell. But it started to deteriorate because of the belief of, for one, there stopped being a Roman king. They were just like, we're done with that. Then the Caesars were crazy. Okay? The Caesar was not a king. There's only one Caesar who tried to be king, and they killed him. Okay? They killed him. All right. But nonetheless, then you had Caesars who were just, they were just crazy. It was just like your abuse of power just too much. Nero is one of them. Emperor Nero was just a nutcase. So I'm saying when you have the empire falling apart and then you get invaded by Boudica, who were Britons, that's who invaded them. You get invaded by Boudica. You get invaded by Vercingetorix, whatever his name is. From, he came from, he was a Germanic tribe. Then Egypt wants a part of you because of what you did to them. And that's how they lost. That's how they went down. But of course, Constantine, his empire didn't fall like that. It never fell. I'm saying America is looking to repeat that same thing. They can stop it. America can stop it right now. But the Asians are moving fast. And there's nothing America can do about it except start protecting the people who are in America. Stop looking at them as jailbirds and we're going to enslave you and we're going to keep you in slavery. Get those people out of jail. Stop arresting people for get these let these corporations know. We have to change your income. We have to change the government subsidies that you're getting. And it can happen in a peaceful way. They just have to use their head and stop being lazy. But if they don't want to do that, then they're heading in the wrong direction. When America, the smartest people on the face of the earth are not Americans. But they come here because of a visa. They come here to study. But they're not Americans. They're not. If those people decide we no longer want to study here in America as a group, then you're going to lose some of the greatest minds that there just is. I mean, one guy is from Pakistan. He's like a super dope mathematician. It's just crazy. You're gonna lose those people. You know what I'm saying? So America has some decision making to make, and they need to do it soon. Because when you have a superpower being made in Africa, which is what's going to happen, you're also going to have the Russians who do not have a beef with black people. Russians don't dislike us to the point where they want to invade our country. They don't. The Scythians don't have an issue. You know, they might have fought some small skirmishes, but you know, you just don't have that. Russians enslaved Russians. Now I'm gonna go check. It's not here. I don't know if the Asians will try to oppress us. I don't think they will. We have what they need. If they come in and just try to take our land, it'll be bad for them. It just won't be good for Asia to do that. It wouldn't be smart either. But you got Asia. I mean, when you just think about it, America, the English, the French, it would just be wise. It would be wise for them to treat the African American better. It just would be. Like, I don't understand why they don't get it. Why are you still hanging black people? Like, do you know how offensive that is to see your child hung? It's unforgivable. Like, black people forgive for a lot of things, but some things I don't forgive the people who've done that. I don't look at them and go, oh, I forgive them. They earn in the devil's hell. I don't forgive them for that. I forgive them for the things they've done. I'm not one of those people, I forgive you. No. Absolutely not. I just pray that God punishes them. But for those people who are growing up and seeing this and thinking it's okay, I'm praying for you that you don't do it. Because when the angel of the Lord tosses you into hell, it's going to be like, so what? You know? You wanted to be evil. This is what evil is. I feel sorry for you. You know? All those children dying and mothers and stuff. No. All those people hung in the... No. If the Lord asked me, what should I do with these people? I'd be like, burn them. The people who want to be evil, but the people who are good, I'd be like, now people, like, you know, when a white person gets into a fight with a black dude, I don't be like, yeah, devil got it. Nah, I'd be like, you got no fight. But when you roll up in a truck full of, you know, you burn somebody's house down with them in it, I got nothing for you. Like, God, don't ask me, because I'm going to tell you, don't leave it up to me, because none of them will ever see light again. Don't leave it up to me. But I'm not an angel and I'm not God, so. But don't ask me and say, I'm telling you now, I have no forgiveness for that. None. I have no love for that. It's my jam. I don't know what's taking them so long. Maybe you should call and find out what's taking so long. I want my lasagna. I might order a pizza anyway. you're gonna probably have to call. It's my crank. Up to an hour. Wow. Well, that's smart. Yeah, Uber Eats, man, that'll get your company in trouble. Don't work with them. Yeah. Yes, only you. You want to hear a different song? They left. That's what happens. Hey. Hello. He just left. He said you have to call him. was a Jorge though, but I don't think he ate it. Yep. I mean, I just want you to, get your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? When you order something. He said you didn't put it in the bag. Whatever. Hello? Hello? Oh. I haven't had cream soda. Hello?
Every time I order from that place, it's always
It's that place.
weird.
It's that place.
I mean, well, the good news is that the food showed up.
Yeah.
The bad news is that it was incomplete.
Right.
What?
I'm like, did dude eat the salad? He was like, yeah,
You know what? And that's exactly what I thought. I was like, you know what? He probably was like, you know what, man, these salads come a dime a dozen, and they add salads to every little entree that you order. So I'm gonna just go ahead and eat this one, go back to the job.